Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikakwadash. I want to give double honor to Apostle Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well. And I might shalom to all the listeners and believers. This is the brother Iwa from the Gear Bench Great Millstone. Well, and come back again with another edifying video. Today, going into examine yourselves, right? Understanding that we're in the last days, and we understand that the Lord is on his way back, man. All right, what did he say? Measure the time diligently in itself. And through that measurement, we understand that it's only so many prophecies left before the Lord returns. Right? And you don't want to be that servant when the Lord comes back and he finds you not doing. You want to be that servant when the Lord comes back, he finds you doing the things that you need to be doing. Right? And this starts with examining yourself. Right? Day in and day out. Each day is a new day. Right? The things of the past, it's in the past. Right? So what did you do today to earn your crown? What did you do today in order to pretty much reverence the Lord? So I'll start with 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. Says, examine yourself, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. So you're supposed to be putting yourself to the test, right? You understand where you fall short. You understand where you fall weak. You understand the things that trip you up, right? You know yourself more than anybody else knows you other than the Lord. Right? So you know what things that you're lacking in. And if you know what things you're lacking in, it's just like working out. It's just like a sport. You're going to work on your weak points, right? So in that day, there's no chink in your armor. You have on the whole armor. You've been testing yourself and proving yourselves through the scriptures day in and day out. Through the test, the Lord is also bringing it upon you, right? So these little quizzes, these little tests, it's going to help you in that last day and the hour of temptation. It says, know not yourselves how that Yahweh Salaki got these things in my mouth. Yahweh Shai Hamashiach is in you, except you be reprobates, right? But it says, but I trust that you should know that we are not reprobates, right? We're not bastards, we're not reprobates. We understand that we accounted the cost. And we understand that the Lord says, matter of fact, let me get it. Give me 1 second. Think it not strange that these fiery trials shall try you. Right? You shouldn't think it's strange because the Lord told you these things was going to happen. It says when you depart from away from sin, you make yourself a prey. Right? So understand that you're making yourself a prey. You're subject to constant demons. You're subject to constant tests. But all of these different things are only there to strengthen you, only there to build you up into the person that the Lord knows you can be. Right? So when you're coming back from the world and constantly in sin and constantly doing things that were actually neglecting yourself, when you actually try to go back and do the correct things, just like a person who was addicted to drinking. When they finally stop drinking, they're starting to have withdrawals. Their body goes to different temptations, right? But you have to fight those things off the same way in the spirit, man. It says 1 Peter 4 and verse 12. It says, beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trials which is to try you, as though some strange thing happening to you. So don't think it's strange when you're going through all these different tests, right? You have to count it joy. Understanding that you're, what does it say, sharing the suffering of Mashiach, right? The Lord went through these things, and He's showing you that it's possible, right? To what's it called, rule over your spirit. He's showing you that it's possible to walk the perfect walk. Now we understand that we're in this flesh and that it's subject to sin, but you're supposed to be doing your best, right? Trying to the best of your ability, right? If there's certain things that you know you don't have to do, certain things that you know that you can withstand from, do that. Don't sit there and anytime the flesh gets the slightest itch, fall short, right? No, you have to be giving a honest fight. That's why it says do the test of a genuine faith. Are you sincere in this thing? Are you actually trying? Right? Are you giving it all you can? Right? Because this race, you're supposed to be giving everything you got. It's not a race of who's the fastest, who's the strongest, but the one that endures. Right? Enduring all temptation, enduring all different things, man. Right? Let me get that other one I quoted. Yep, already there. Right? Understanding that when the Lord comes back, you want to, what do he say? My faithful and good servant, right? You want the Lord to come back to wipe your tears, right? You don't want him coming back and saying, get away from me, I never knew you, ye that work iniquity, because you had the opportunity, you had the tools in order to conquer these things, right? But you chose not. You chose to continue in your folly, thinking that nobody saw you, right? Preaching all these, what what's it called, precepts and teaching, being the teacher of others, but unprofitable to thyself. You're not practicing what you preach. Right? It says Matthew 24, I believe it's in the 40s. Yeah, be ready for his coming. And by being ready, what does that mean you're doing? You're preparing, right? By being ready, you're staying upon your watch. By being ready, you're making sure that your house is clean and in order, right? Like the five wise virgins and the five foolish. You're part of that. Salaki. You're trying to be a part of that five wise. Who when the husband came back, they were already prepared. They had their oil, right? It says Matthew, I'm started 24 and 42. It says, watch therefore, for you know not what hour your Lord doeth come. And what did the Lord say? He, not even himself, he knows when he's going to come, but the Father in heaven, man. Only he knows, right? But the Lord has given us prophecies, right? And a way to measure these things to understand when, what's it called, when he's coming back and what time we're in now, right? So we're seeing all of these different things pop off left and right. You have the ice going on, knocking people down. You have them moving forward with the MLTV more and more, inch by inch. You have rumors of war more heavier than ever. All right, so we're seeing all of these different things being laid out, so that when it does pop off, hey, you're ready. All right. It says Matthew 24 and 43. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known and would have watched the thief would come, he would have watched and when I suffered his house to be broken upon. So if you're staying upon your watch, right, keeping yourself in order, doing the things that the Lord told you to do, when these things pop off, you're not going to be caught unaware. You're not going to be caught with your pants down, right? Because you are doing what the Lord told you to do. You're fasting, you're repenting, reading, uploading your videos, helping the ministry, being there for your brother, all of these different things that please the Lord, right? It says, I'm going to read 44 again because I don't think I read that. It says, therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as you think not the Son of Man cometh, right? So we understand that certain things have to pop off. I mean, it's like, well, yeah, certain things have to happen before the Lord actually makes his return. But each day you have to count it like it's your last. You never know when the Lord's going to require your spirit, right? And if you practice each day and conquer the day, eventually you're going to start conquering the week. And then you start conquering the month, right? The more and more you're disciplining yourself in order to be ready. All right, so that's why it says, be ready for his coming. Be ready so you don't have to get ready. And by being ready, this also goes right back down to what we started with. Examining yourself, man. Seeing where you fall short. Seeing where you're lacking. Right? Striving, what is it called? For the mastery. Verse 45. It says, who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household. So I didn't know if I was there. It says, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household to give them meat in due season. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Doing what? Right? The things that the Lord has left us. He said, it's like a man who went off to a far country, right? But he left us work to do. He said, the labor is plenty, but the laborers are few. So it's a lot of work that needs to get done. It's a lot of work that needs to get done in each and every one of us. Speaking about myself, right? We've been in this world for so long, lifetime and lifetime. What's it called? Being subject to sin and doing things over. It's ingrained in you. So now, what does it say? You have to seek the Lord 10 times harder because it was your mind to go off. So it has to be your mind to come back, right? We understand that this is a gift from the Lord, but the point being, you have to fight for this thing, man. Fight the good fight. It says, verse 47, verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. Right? So this is a part of those gifts, man. We understand there's many things that's going to come when the Lord comes back, right? He says, I'll come back with the reward for those that do righteous and wicked, roughly paraphrasing. But we understand that the reward for the righteous is going to be so many different things. But if you have desire in all of those different things, you have to do what the Lord has required you to do, man. right? And we're in that season of what's it called? Building ourselves up, man. Right? Building yourself up for that day. Staying disciplined because we understand that what wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. So by building yourself up with this knowledge now, when that time comes, it's gonna be easy to apply these things, man. Right? Just doing it. Right. But if you're not working now, how can you expect to be ready to play when the big game comes? Right? It says practice how you play. So we're rehearsing the righteous acts, man. It says verse 48. It says, but and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming. Right. So you feel like the Lord is taking longer than what you thought he was gonna come back. But did not the Lord say, my time is not your time? Right? What it said, one day to the Lord is 1,000 years to us. It's as though it tarry, wait for it shall surely come. We count it long suffering to usward, right? All of these different things, understanding that the Lord is going to come back on His time. He's going to come back right when it's perfect, right? Right in the nick of time. So you have to do what you have to do and endure and continue to till and what's it called? Till the ground, man. Continue to work, right? Work until the Lord tells you that it's time to rest, man. It says verse 49, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants and eat and drink with the drunken. So you're going back into the world. The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, an hour that he is not aware. And it's so easy to fall back subject into the world because when you're being idle, when you're not constantly doing the things that the Lord is telling you to do, right? You so easily slip back into that old crowd. You so easily slip back into the world, man. Because you got to think the devil's waiting for you to mess up, man. What it says, like a crouching lion, right? Seeking who he can destroy. So if you're giving him what it called access or a certain gap in order to get you, hey, you're making it easier for him to devour you. What does it say? Sin lieth at the door. All right. So if you're not doing what you need to do, sin lieth at the doors, you're gonna naturally end up going off. It says, and shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You're gonna get beat with many stripes because you weren't doing what the Lord told you to do. Like you can deceive yourself and think that you're being holy and now checking off everything on your checklist, right? But if you're not doing what the Lord instructed you to do, if you're not doing the things that you know you're supposed to be doing, right? Hey, when that day comes, don't sit there being baffled on why you're not what's it called getting beamed up, why you're not getting crowned, why you're not what's it called, why you're in perverse situations. All these different things are gonna come upon you because of what you did. What says what somebody soweth, they shall reap, right? Okay, Salaki. My next one. Oh, why my caps on? Psalms 26 and 2. It says, it's like it, Psalms 26 and 2. It says, examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart. Right? And that's what the Lord is doing now, man. He's proving us to be a friend. He's proving us to be a faithful servant. Right? He's trying you, trying to do different things, to do different tests. When you pray for certain things, say you're praying for strength or more wisdom or different aspects that you need, right? You're not going to get it in the way that you think so. He's going to put you through certain tests, right? That's going to end up building these things up. It's just like a genie. They say, be careful what you ask for, right? So these different tests that you're going to be going through, they're going to be trying, they're going to be hard. But if you endure, you're going to become out a better man at the end of it. Okay. So like it. Oh yeah, let me get the next one. I got James. Because you gotta understand, man, this is no game, bro. Each day, these days are flying. Your salvation is nearer than what you believe. So this is the time where it's no time for childish games. What did it say? When I was a child, I spake as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Right? The Lord is building up men. He's building up leaders. There's no time for childish games, man. So there's no more time for those like the leeway that the Lord used to give you. Hey, it's time to tighten it up because these things are ramping up. Where like Jacob's trouble right there. Really, Jacob's trouble in a way is already here. It's just not on the high level that it's going to be at, man. You're already seeing certain things happen, right? But those little things, those gradualism, has to happen in order for boom. You know, okay? It says testing your faith being the title. I think it's 22. Actually, started at 21. It says, wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul. All right, so we got to depart from sin, man. Depart from that old wicked man. Let that old wicked man die. Depart from people that's around you that's actually not going to benefit you. Because we understand people would say, stay upon a godly man, right? Whose mind is according to thy mind. Right? When you're around these people in the world, what's the saying? Birds of a feather flock together. You're naturally going to do what they do, man. Right? So that's why you have to surround yourself with like-minded men, that you're more likely to stay in the spirit, more likely to stay accountable. Right? You stay in a, in a crack house for so long, you're going to eventually end up getting tempted into trying to crack. Right? It says, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul. Right? So receive the Holy Spirit, man. Receive this word of the Lord, man. Eat the whole roll and build upon it. Right? Eat the whole roll and actually apply these things to your life, man. Change yourself. All right. And by doing these things, you're actually saving your soul, man. Because if you continue to try to save your life now, this so-called what you call living, you're gonna lose it. Did it not say it in the book of Matthew, chapter 16? Right? But those that lose your life for the Lord's sake, right? And what's losing your life? Losing this world, man. Losing things that really don't matter, right? And making your body a living sacrifice, doing the things that please the Lord, going out here teaching to your people, warning the people, man. Right? You're saving your soul. What's it called? Bit by bit. It says, but be doers of the word. See, keyword doers, man. You can't just be out here teaching the word or just saying certain things, but not holding yourself accountable, right? How can you try to judge the next man, but yet you're still doing things that's way worse than he was doing, right? So you have to be a role model, not just in word, but in action, man. Being that light on the hill, man. It says, and not errors only deceiving your own selves, man. You're only deceiving yourself, right? The occupant gonna start noticing, hey, that brother ain't been doing his videos. That brother ain't what's it called? How do I want to put it? Because there's multiple things. That brother ain't bringing up precepts at camp. That brother, I be seeing him on Snapchat doing things he ain't supposed to be doing, right? Or the Lord, for example, the Lord sees all. He knows what you're doing when you're in your room alone. He knows what you're doing throughout your day. All of those different things, man. So you only deceiving yourself, right? No man can save you. Only what you do can save you. Your relationship with the Lord, right? So, Slovakia. Yeah, 23. Says, for if any man be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. Right? So you think that you're so-called becoming this new man, but you you look back, you that same person that came into the truth from the beginning. You ain't changed one bit, man. You still at the starting line, deceiving yourself. All right. Swap. Give me 1 second. Ooh, matter of fact, we're gonna get that. We was talking about it, huh? Get that Matthew 6. All right. Going into the eye. All right, Matthew 6 and 22. Matter of fact, we can start at 19 because this goes on to it too. Matthew 6:19 says, "Lay not for yourselves treasure upon earth, where moss and rust do corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal." Right. So don't put your all into this world, man. Right. Don't put your treasures in this world, which is going to end up passing away, man. All right. But you're supposed to be laying up. What does it say? Let's read it. It says, "But lay up for yourselves treasure in heaven, neither moss and rust do corrupt, and where thieves do not break through and steal." By laying up your treasures in heaven, right? That's doing what the Lord is saying, man. Studying to show yourself approved, desiring the sincere milk, seeking wisdom. Because when you do all of these different things, all of this stuff that you so-called desire is going to be added into you. Just for where your treasure is, there where your heart be also. We understand heart means mind, right? So you're keeping your mind upon the Lord. You're keeping your mind upon the things that please the Lord, right? It says the light of the body is the eye. If therefore that eye be seen with that whole body shall be full of light. So if you're focused on the goal, you're going to do things that are going to help you get to your goal, right? Before you know it, you're there, right? But it says, but if that eye be evil, the whole body shall be full of darkness, right? So if if you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you still out here thinking you being slick, hey, you're just gonna end up digging a deeper and deeper ditch, man. All right. I said, if therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? Right. And there's no end to lust, man. So this video wasn't meant to be long. The whole point being, continue to stay in this truth, man. Continue to examine yourself day in and day out. Push yourself, right? Test yourself, man. You want to get to that next level. You don't want to be stagnant in this truth, right? It's always something to work on. It's always something to do. It's always something that can keep you occupied, man. The Lord has given us all different talents. You all have different offices. Build upon what the Lord has given you and become the best version of yourself that you can be, man. Salvation is around the corner. Each day you wake up, man. You're seeing different news feeds, different things popping off left and right that's showing you more and more like, hey, we're here, man. So when you see these different things, it should give you a faith boost, but it should also keep you in fear to understand, hey, let me make sure I'm doing what I need to do so that when these things come to full fruition, the Lord is gonna keep me quiet from that wrath, man. Keep me away from all of that. Right? So with that, I'm gonna give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Kakadash. Shalom, Lord willing, this video was edifying. Shalakia. Abba Babal, Kwame Sharala, Chemotherapy 2026. Soon.